Good evening and welcome everybody to the first ever SRA Grid Report live podcast. I'm your host Josh. I got with me Bailey Kish, and we've brought you the special experience of cameras tonight.
Heck yes. Brought our fanciest clothes for the fanciest night of the week, hopefully.
Yep,
So we're
yep,
in for a show tonight.
no doubt. It's a Thursday evening, but it's a hype night, no doubt. It doesn't feel like just any other Thursday leading into the season, especially after that track reveal last night, looking at servers of 30 and 40 people for hours.
Yeah, but there was a lot of people immediately hitting the tracks, and those who knew the track before were already on it. So a lot of people are getting prepped for week one.
That is right. So we've had the announcement now, and Barcelona is going to be our week one track, even though we did race there last season in the wet. Um, the dry and the dry this time around, and the admins have decided to spice things up by deciding to crank the temperatures up to about 57. And by 57, I mean around 42, and it's already proving troublesome for some people.
Yeah, I've been seeing 42 degrees. I've been seeing even 47 degrees. So they went the complete opposite route this season, which alone Barcelona dry is such a different attack than it is in the wet, let alone these temperatures, which I mean you're dropping 4 to 5 degrees on each tire just to get them right.
Oh yeah, just coming out on my out laps last night, trying to keep it pretty easy. I was already up around 100 degrees by the time I went to start my first actual push lap, and it's how am I going to get through this for a race? So, yeah, I'm pretty interested to see how people handle that. But the servers are absolutely packed, and everybody is hyped. That's as simple as I can put it. Just hyped. The chats have
Yep.
been active from sun up to sundown. Everybody is just itching to get racing and itching to figure out what the next 7 tracks are going to be on this calendar.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people already taking guesses. There's the new chat in Discord. It's the 2 through 8 now that week one's been revealed. So I don't think there's been any clues for it, but just a lot of people taking guesses just off of past seasons and tracks we haven't done. So interested to see what will be thrown at us for week two.
Definitely. Do you yourself have any predictions? I'm kind of at a loss. I know we like to go from dry to, I believe we do wet second, and then we do dark. So judging by
I
that,
can't remember.
well, either wet or
Um,
dark, I'm not sure which to place
yeah,
as the second track.
it's gonna be either. If I had to guess, it's gonna be a dark race would be my guess, then a wet race. Um, I have a feeling Spa's gonna come back this season. I don't know when, but I mean, we could have a lot of different options here. Um,
Oh yeah.
what are
Uh,
you thinking?
I definitely agree. Spa's gonna end up back on the calendar this year. It's a track that a lot of people love to race. It produces fabulous racing no matter what class of car you're in, and especially these
Yep.
GT3s with the varying lines coming up over Rouge and Radeon. It's a hoot no matter how many times you've been on that track.
Yeah. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of Donington. We haven't had Donington in a while. We've been seeing a lot of where else have we seen? Maybe Wet Snetterton. I have
Oh,
seen a lot of Wet Snetterton guesses. Yeah. So one thing I do know is, or not know, shall we say? One thing I do think is we will get a dry Misano this season.
a dry Misano. That's uh
Yes.
that's something I could also see happening. That track is another one that I don't know. I feel it's almost completely different in the dry compared to the wet.
Oh, for sure. Especially with the braking zones in the wet, is those curbs are almost non-existent. You can't use them in the wet. So that factor of bringing the curbs into play and increases the amount of overtaking, the amount of speed, the braking can go harder and earlier or later, shall I say? So yeah, another one that's completely different.
Oh, for sure. Just the big thing that I always notice is the available grip at the corner, and sometimes it's
Yes.
tough to when you've been racing one track in the dry a lot or been racing it in the wet a lot to go and try and push hard in the other. It takes quite for me. It takes quite a while to. Yeah, you've got a lot more grip here than you think, but go faster than that. You're almost a gear under speed.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know about you, but my Twitch is not being a friend of mine. Is anything going on in the chat right now?
We got a couple of people in chat. Everybody who's here so far, just want to say thanks for coming out. Thanks for hanging out, and hopefully we keep you entertained throughout the entire show. Um, got a couple of people in chat saying "Let's go Caps."
Caps.
I don't. Yeah, let's go Caps.
Uh,
Koa Koa says Josh looks like the team principal and Bailey looks like the team owner.
well, let's put it this way. As much as I am repping Aston Martin, he's much nicer than anybody in the Stroll family. So let's get that out of the way.
Oof, oof.
Uh,
Disrespecting the Canadians, I see.
hey man, sometimes it's your own friends who give you the most hate, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we got a couple of people just putting in some guesses. We got some Suzuka, Nürburgring, Indy, Snetterton, Misano, Laguna again, Kyalami again. So several people
Now,
making guesses here.
I was gonna say Indy poses an interesting direction because I actually feel that we might end up with one of these American tracks as our wet race this season.
Oh,
Now, I only say that because I have heard someone say that nobody, no matter what car they're going to drive, is going to be a fan of this season's calendar. And
okay.
something that was brought up when we were practicing last night on Barcelona was someone brought up the combination of wet coda. And I wanted
Oh,
to
I have
vomit
seen a
on
lot of that
myself.
too. I
And
have seen a lot of that.
just thinking of the combination of things no one will like and wet coda, it could be there.
Yeah.
We haven't raced
Wet
on that
Coda
track too much.
with the strict track limits as well.
It's
That's going to be a tough one if that's the case.
Yeah, the entire first sector is just going to be an initial D stage. Everyone's drifting back and forth through the S.
Yep. Not a lot of overtaking. It's just going to be pouncing on mistakes.
Definitely, definitely. But looking forward, as much as we want to look forward, we should also look back. We had that season closing episode a couple weeks ago, but we do have some other beautiful graphics. Oh, wrong panel. Made up by our beautiful graphics department here at SRA, and these are our race winners overall, going back across the whole season. And something that's been hard to keep track of definitely is the gold and the silver winners. The silver winners aren't really represented well on our points tracker, so sometimes it's hard to keep mental note of who's who. But we gotta look back and give some love.
Yeah, for sure.
We obviously got D1 up on the board here. Um, a lot of just even looking back, like I don't have too strong of a memory of even the race I did 2, 3, 4 days ago. But just looking back towards Suzuka, towards Nürburgring, those were some pretty intense races to start off the season. And D1
Yeah.
looked like it was going to be one hell of a battle up at the front.
Yeah, especially with Brooker Queeg walking away with the first week win there. Um, we expected anything to happen. We could see Matt Lehman. We did see Matt Lehman win at Misano. And then, I mean,
There's only one other name up there on the
elsewhere,
board.
elsewhere, there's
Definitely,
yeah, we all know his name.
for sure, Mr. Ryan Yee, and he deserves all the
Yeah,
love that he got. I believe we
yeah.
saw him. Was Nürburgring his first race, or was Suzuka his first race?
I don't remember. I believe it might have been Nürburgring.
He,
It was at least Nürburgring.
whichever it was, I remember watching that race and
Hmm.
the fight between Yi and Lehman with just the commentators and everybody in the booth or everybody in the comments immediately knew this was going to be a championship to watch. And as the season went on, we saw everyone throughout the grid, even though they didn't show up on the winners here, prove it was a fight, as you can tell by the
Yeah,
variety of silver winners here.
I was gonna mention that next was that the opposite hand here we have 8 different silver winners.
Yeah, and in quite the variety of cars too. We almost have love from all the manufacturers minus Ferrari. Um, but clearly a Honda ting this year or this
Yeah, for
season.
sure. And I have not seen many Hondas as much as we did last season. Could be from the recent BOP that we had.
Could be. It could be. I do see a lot of the board so far, the registration board so far is Porsches and Aston Martins. So
Yes,
it'll
and
be
a heavy mix of those.
it'll be interesting to see how many other brands we get. I know I can confirm at least two people I think driving the Audi this season.
I believe there is 10 total people.
Oh wow,
Yes.
that's more than we've had in a while. So big love for the German
Yeah,
brand.
absolutely. Represent for the Audi boys. I'm a Audi boy at heart. I just wish it was better. And I believe so does Mr. Fimbres Casas,
Oh for
who
sure.
spent the whole season in that last season and was obviously not the same Diego Fimbres Casas we know.
Not at all. Coming out of season four, we thought he was going to be a threat, and then season five, we're all concerned for his well-being.
Yeah, but we're expecting to see the return of Fimbres Casas and maybe that championship curse on Ryan Yee, perhaps.
Possibly. Um, I don't know. He's got a lot of strength to his driving ability. I think it'd be kind of hard to put a curse on that man. You got to
For
have
sure.
someone catch up to him.
Yeah, for sure. So we're definitely going to be watching him closely this season.
150%. And we move forwards to D2 here. D2 was really interesting. Mr. Sir there taking the silver win in the first two races, and I believe he was inside the top five or top three in those two races, and almost immediately got moved up to D1, where he put up quite the season. I believe he finished inside the top 10 up there. So,
Mr. Sir actually won both races. Just happened to be silver.
oh, fair enough. Yeah, that's not overall winner for gold. That's
Yeah,
just top gold driver.
yeah, yep.
That is right.
So yeah, Mr. Sir was placed in the wrong spot, perhaps, but
Perhaps thinking back on it, didn't
yeah,
he win Nurburgring by double-digit seconds?
yeah,
That was
by like half a lap.
it was quite the race.
It was for him, maybe.
Yeah. And even saying that, like, there's no shame on him. We're just essentially fluffing him up. Like, the guy's got a lot of skill. He was just a little out of place for his
Hmm.
competitiveness.
Yeah,
As much as it's nice to
yeah.
win races, coming from looking back on season three, um, it it wasn't that much fun when I was just driving ahead of the field.
Hmm.
So it's better when you're
I
in
wouldn't
with the
know that
mix of
feeling.
competitiveness.
Yeah, that's true.
Give
But
yourself some
like
credit, man. It'll
looking,
come.
yeah, maybe not. We'll see. That's okay. But just kind of surveying what we got here. I mean, like we had in the D1 Silver, we got plenty of different race winners here, plenty of different split rate winners here in the silver and the gold. Jeffrey's obviously coming out on top for D2 last season, taking home 2 wins. But I mean, look at the likes of Kevin Kovac also getting 2 wins, and Nick Wagner, who was in the fight there with Jeffrey's, also pulling 2 wins.
Yeah, he really turned the Jets on in the back half of the season and made that Porsche look like the weapon that it truly is.
Yeah, he sure did. And I think it kind of influenced what people were doing this season just to see how dominant that Porsche was. I know a lot of people chose the Porsche. There's a lot of speculation that we'll see Laguna Seca again this season, whether that's in the rain or the night. But
Ooh, that would be really fun
yes,
as a night race. And something I want to bring up here as we're talking about things for next season. Seeing with how they're manipulating Barcelona to bring out the true hotness of the region and torture our tires. Do you think we'll actually start to see true night races and we'll get the torture on the other side of the temperature scale?
oh, that's a great question. Potentially. I know um we've had a couple of them like that, but on the stream side, it's been kind of hard to keep track of. But I know a lot of people thoroughly enjoy the dark, so we might have one complete dark race, either whether it starts in the dusk or starts completely night.
Yeah, I for one am a big fan of driving in the complete darkness. It's kind of scary once you get
Oh,
separated
it's
from the
terrifying.
pack and you're driving
Yes.
alone, but when you're around people, it's it's so exhilarating.
Yeah, for sure. I think we've done, when did we do Night Monza? Do you remember?
I do not
Was that
remember that.
season?
I think
Might
that
have been
was season
season
4.
4. Yeah, that was the last time. I think we've had 3 night races since then, and that was the last race that it was completely dark for me.
Incorrect. SRA 1K.
Oh, that's right, that's right. But that doesn't count because it's a completely different event.
Fair enough. I was gonna say that's my only SRA experience where it went truly dark. Actually, no, we
Yeah.
were pitch black at Paul Ricard, and I think it was season 3 or season 2. Now, I remember that being
Definitely was
very
not
dark.
season 3. Yeah, definitely was not season 3. Maybe. I might be wrong, but I can't remember. Might have
I,
been.
I see Austin in the chat saying I want the dark 8 dark races in a row for season 4.
Yeah, that might not happen.
I mean I'm all for it. Like, sign me up. Let's get a forum going in the Discord and overthrow the man.
That would be an interesting championship battle. Imagine we get 8 night races and 2 of them are wet night races.
I see, as much as I would absolutely
Oh,
love to see that, I don't think it'll happen for quite a while. Just for the sake of
unlikely.
saving computers and saving people's VR headsets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I believe I was told that we have killed somebody's card because of
Oh,
a night wet race that they tried to participate in.
oh no.
So, but I mean, like, it was their choice to join, so
Yeah.
it
Knowing
would.
that this game is CPU heavy as well.
Exactly. And White Bison, you're right, it would be an absolute fun race, but for the sake of just making sure everybody can continue racing for the rest of the season, maybe as an exhibition event or something, but
Yeah.
moving on here, we got D3. Now D3 was action, action, action. And you can tell by again the varying pole sitters we see here. And one thing we do notice, or well, I notice, is Kelvin Lau taking the top silver position at Indy and then taking the top gold position at Misano.
How about that? And I believe he started in D4 for the first 2 races.
Oh wow. You
Yeah.
you might be right. We'll probably see as we go ahead because if he moved up that quickly, I'm sure he was winning those 2 races. But
Yeah,
he had some stellar drives throughout this season.
for sure. And I mean, this entire division, there was, I would say, a third of the top split in D3 was either putting in D2 competitive pace or if not quicker.
Yeah, it was. It's interesting to see how many drivers just ramped their pace up a couple divisions this season and just
Oh, and
absolutely dominated where they were placed.
yeah, and I don't know if you saw this, but Steven Sarvis is that Kevin Lau started in D5.
Oh no way!
Yes.
No way. Okay, Luca, if you're listening to this, that's how you go up 2 divisions. We love
He's
you.
winning D3 gold when
Mm-hmm.
he started at D5 and 4 races in he's already winning D3 gold. Hmm.
That's that's a performance, man. Like, that to me deserves drive of the season. Like,
That's incredible. I mean, over the longevity,
exactly.
perhaps.
Like, to be able to put in that kind of, it's one thing to have a strong race or improve over the season, but man, he improved 2 divisions worth of immediate placement and a whole nother division worth of, like, this is the pace that I have. So,
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't win any races in the back half of the season, but he was up there.
I believe he did finish top 5 in D3.
So caps off to him. I'm not familiar off the top of my head. Let me grab the placement board here really quick as to where he wound up for season 6.
D2.
D2. I look forward to
D2,
racing
yeah.
alongside you, Kelvin, because you know how to make that Porsche work, my friend.
Yeah, yeah, I was just kind of looking over the charts earlier, and another name that sticks out to me is Dan Cran, who actually was in D2, starting an Indianapolis race, and is now, I believe, in Division 1.
That is correct. He is D1 silver, and that's somebody who's definitely worthy of it. I remember. I think it was it Misano that was wet.
I, Yeah, Masano was wet.
and he made a move around the outside in sector 3, the like three-stage right-hander in that Lexus. It was either
Hmm.
around the outside or fished his way through, and I'm like, that's somebody who's a little bit above his class right there. So,
Yeah, he definitely had a very, very glamorous season, shall we say. Although, I mean, I don't think he was moved up to D2 Gold. But he was definitely a contender in D2. I know I raced against him alongside him a lot during the season. He really, I would say, is one of the pioneers for this Lexus growth. There's a lot of people that are invested in this Lexus. They like the way it handles, and I think the performance that Dan Cran put on the season is the reason of that.
no doubt. There's a lot of drivers who have shown that, hey, BOP may not be favoring this car, but you can still make it go fast. I remember back in, I think it was going into season 3, I had originally debated on changing cars, but I think it was either Michael Moaning. Yeah, it was Michael Moaning, or Menning, had persistently stayed at the top of the leaderboards with the Aston. I'm like, if he can do it, I can do it. I'm going to chase
Hmm.
that. So like I can understand why a lot of people are now going to gravitate to that Lexus cuz it's a sexy car on the track, but now you know it's capable too.
Absolutely, and a lot of people are saying that it's a great sounding car too. So, over that course of an hour, you're not listening to your ex-girlfriend talk. You're more listening to the opera. That's what I like to say.
The Opera,
The opera.
the roaring of the beast.
Yeah. But just one more look here.
Sorry.
Gareth Sykes, another one to talk about.
No doubt.
Um, found some incredible pace towards the second half of the season. A lot of people in D3 were saying that the race was for second. Sykes was so clear. Um, and it obviously is true because he has now skipped Division 2 and went straight to D1 Silver.
Wow. Hold on. Wait a
Yeah,
second. You said he went to D. Wow, D1 Silver. I was reading in the chat that Dan Cran chimed in, but that's quite a jump, my friend. I know he was showing his threat early on in the season. In Indy, he really got his chance to strut his stuff, so to speak, taking that top gold spot, and took it two more times for the rest of the season. So
yeah,
definitely has the consistency to be up in D1. I know for myself, someone who's back in D2 for the fifth season. Um, I don't have the consistency. He has something that a lot of drivers strive for, being able to hit that target lap whenever they want to.
hmm
He would
yeah,
I remember seeing that he would line up a move a couple laps in advance, prepare his tires, take the cautious line and then be able to push and hit that hot lap to make that move done. Secure those two wins, Barcelona and Kailami.
yeah, for sure. It's a tough thing to accomplish and to be able to do it consistently over several races is definitely big.
Not a doubt. Division 4 sees a lot of Aston Martins. Holy cow. I didn't realize.
Oh yeah, there was Aston Martins everywhere. Surprisingly, we see a couple of Porsches too, but that there was only two Porsches on the D4 grid with Zodi Fade and John Donahue.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems that John didn't make himself onto the winning spots, but I believe he made himself onto a few podium positions throughout the season. If I'm not
That is correct. Yes.
if I'm not completely misremembering things, but D4 was again another battle from top to bottom in the grid, and I think that's something that's going to be a trend going forwards, especially with the fact that we're seeing full divisions, and for the first time in SRA history, before we open up registration to extra people, we've already capped out a division.
Yeah.
We've capped out D3.
Wow.
So
And
competition is huge right now.
well, and D3 is the closest margin of split time. I think it was D3 at excuse me, point 0.6 of a second.
I remember seeing that somewhere, but I can't figure out where, so I don't have those numbers.
Yeah,
But
it was
point
one of the
six of a second
announcements.
to split, I'm assuming that's
Yep,
the hot stints across
top
the
to bottom.
division.
Yep, top
Wow.
to bottom. Yep.
I
Yeah,
mean, then again,
D1 was split by a second.
we did have what 80 people under a 141
Probably
or
something
like
like
in the
that, yeah.
140s. So
Yeah, or
that
if not a 141 flat. We're
yeah,
close. So yeah, D3 is going to be completely competitive throughout the entire season.
not a doubt. It's it's going to be a show, and D4 is going to be another one as well. They
Yeah,
with the people who moved down from 3, who were on the brink, who got the unfortunate end of the stick, and they took the place of the people who were really big outliers in D4 and had to move up to D3, and those who moved up from D5 with a really competitive pace. This is going to be one of those divisions to watch. These middle divisions seem to boast the most competition.
absolutely. And I'm honored to be a part of the commentary team again to watch D4 do their magic.
It's got to be nice to follow the one division for the entire season.
It is. You get to know everybody. You just know them by name. You know their car. You kind of know who you're looking for on track. Sometimes you see somebody who's like towards the middle or the back half have a outstanding performance to go get that top 10 or really close to a podium. So it's kind of like you're connecting with these guys without actually being with them.
Yeah, 100%. You get to, like you said, you follow their footsteps all through the whole season. You get
Yep,
every taste of what they go through, and
for sure. And then,
especially those you regularly see in the booth.
yep. And to see some of the guys that I got to watch last season get moved up and completely deserve it. Those who got moved up to from the silver split to the gold split absolutely deserve it. So it's gonna be fun to watch. Almost an entirely new Division Four. I'm thinking. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's gonna be some shakeup between all the divisions. So
Yeah, there's going to be, as much as there's going to be some I know you, I know your pace, there's going to be a whole lot of I've never raced around you, what should I expect?
yeah, and that's the what the first 2, 3 races is all about is figuring out who is your pace, who are you racing against, where is your goal, where are you trying to finish in the race, who are you trying to beat. So it's all about feeling each other out. Some people kind of know everybody they're racing around, luckily, so they'll have that going for them. But for a lot of these new people, they're not going to know anybody.
Yeah, there's going to be, yeah, a lot of fish out of water, so to speak.
Yeah,
But I feel it's a lot more excitement than it is fear, that's for sure.
yeah. And just a quick note on Division 4, we actually had 2 drivers get bumped up from D4 to D2 in Landon Dreebs and Moira Zuch.
Moira Zuch. Yes, both of those drivers. I knew Landon had a lot of pace in him, but Moira's one that kind of snuck under the radar.
Yeah, she had several outstanding races. She had some very good comebacks in races that didn't start off so well. Definitely stood out on the last race at Kyalami. She kind of brought out the fight to Landon Dreebs, who was looking to be the favorite going into the week. Had to do as much as he can to overcome the I don't remember what the point gap was, but it was super close. But she actually stole the point away from Landon Dreebs. I don't know if he's listening, but yeah, sorry, Landon, I had to bring this up again.
You got to
It's like the
relive it,
third
man.
time this week.
It's
Yeah,
not over yet.
no, it was just incredible to watch.
That's bang on, Steven. Moira was just solid all season. Didn't win a race, but was always there,
Yep,
and that's what it
she was
takes sometimes.
always a part of the conversation, always in the mix of things. So I believe she completely deserved it.
I'm assuming that's him. Makes me cry every time.
Oh, yep,
Yep.
there he is,
Rest
Jeeves.
rest in peace, Landon.
Sorry I had to do it to you again,
Uh,
but
It's all part of the
oh,
love.
it is.
Moving on to Division 5. Oh, he's scratching his head. Division 5, I was lucky enough to call my home for the season, and I think I'm going to be going back this season, so again, some love, but I'm also going to be seeing uh, very different grid. That's for sure.
Yes.
There's uh there's a lot of very competitive names coming up from D6 that I'm excited to see amongst some of the already insane talent that there was in D5 for some reason.
Yeah.
People like Rene Oki, or here's Kelvin Lau taking a win in D5 at Nürburgring at the start of the
Yeah.
season.
Then is winning Division 3 race by Maisano.
Exactly. Like, wow. But, yeah. D5 was, again, I keep saying it every one, but a battle from top to bottom. And every single race, you had favorites, but it was realistically up in the air. There was
Yeah.
no true favorite to win. And some people had extremely strong races. Like Rene Oki had some beautiful races throughout the season. His Barcelona race. I want to shout out Mr. Panzo Rigatoni, one of the few people who have sent in a driver of the season request. Uh, he wants to shout out Ren for his Division 5 drive, and I completely agree. His battle coming the entire way back to the front from the back of the grid, and he still had the pace to walk past the top guys and Zitko to take that gold win was was just I'm lost for words still, and it's been how many
Yeah.
weeks ago?
Several.
Yeah,
Several to say the least. Yeah.
it was a complete showing of driver skill.
Yeah. We had several of those this season, and that one's just one to quickly highlight as we were here. But yeah, we had several people just catch the eyes, put their footmark in their future, and a lot of people recognized it.
That's right. And he is going to be sticking around in D5 Gold next season, so he's somebody I'm definitely watching out for that championship.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot
One
of
thing.
others are going to have their eyes on him as well.
Yeah, I've been seeing Austin Weiscarver in chat. I did see in Division 4 he got moved up, but repping that Audi, putting that gold split winner there at Suzuka, and he had another silver podium, silver win at in Division 4. So shout out the Audi gang. Unfortunately, not this season.
I see, yeah, always shout out to Audi Gang. I I personally like the car. It was one of the first like sports car, hypercar, supercar things that I liked as a kid growing up, the R8.
Hmm.
So I got a little bit of a place for the R8, but I'll never drive it because I don't like the way that it feels. um, yeah, no, big love to those guys. Hopefully they got a better BOP this season.
We're hoping.
I see SG Smalls says drive of the season, Damiani at Kailami. I might have to get you to come up here and explain that one later because I don't even
Yeah.
remember what I did at Kailami. So
You finished like sixth, didn't you?
yeah, but that's like where I started. So what did I do? Just not kill myself for once?
Oh, I swear you were farther back.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I thought you kind of weaved your way through, got got up there, if I remember, but
Couldn't have been that exciting if I don't remember it.
you've had bigger races that stick in your head more.
Ah, maybe. But the races to really look at, three that have stuck in my head, are the last three of this Division 6 season
Wow.
right here. The clean sweep by Nate Allen, otherwise known as Nate Bright now in the Discord, uh, moving himself, solidifying his move up to D5 with those three wins. But
Yeah, he definitely caught momentum there towards the end of the season.
for sure. And as much as D6 did have a smaller grid, it pace was still all over the place. Anybody could have won a race. Did you make a
Yeah.
mistake? Did you have one of those self-inflicted wounds, or did you make a clean for an hour straight?
Now, did Pat Cockcroft get moved to D5 during the season? Or was he in D6 the entire time?
I believe he got moved to D5. Yes, he did because he took the gold win at Laguna Seca.
That's right, that's right.
And that would explain why for Season 6 he is sitting as a Division 4 Silver classification.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, I do remember watching some of the D6 races back that got recorded, and there was a same situation that we had in several of the other divisions is you had a consistent three, four cars that were potential winners, and then you had your outliers in the next three, four spots who could potentially turn up one week and win it.
No doubt. It's and when that's half the grid, it's
Yeah,
it, it's a dice toss.
for sure.
And I don't know. I'm very excited to see. Like we have 50 drivers classified for Division 6 this season, and we have people
That's
waitlisted for
crazy.
season or for Division 6. So like
Yeah.
to see a full grid all the way down, that's gonna be some spicy action.
Well, even the D6 split is not, it's 1.6 from the front, or 1.4 to the front to the back. That's what they're split by. So it's not even, it's like an
Wow.
open, it's not even like it's an open division. It's still going to be completely competitive.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like sometimes it's referred to as like the open, the bottom, the just people who are newer and whatnot, just
Hmm.
come out and race. But holy cow, that's tight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, D5, 1.1, and then D1 coming in at the third highest at 1 second.
Still, even to have 1 second split the field, that's
Yeah. I mean,
that's
we're
very
talking,
close.
we're not talking about a lot of time here.
No, 1,000 done. Like that's it. That splits everybody. 50
Y-
people.
Yep.
50 cars. Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be very entertaining this season to watch and watch it unfold.
No doubt. And yeah, you're right. There are still people on the waiting list. I think we have, I don't know, seven, eight, 10 drivers that are already allotted a division. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 drivers who have been allotted a division and are awaiting a gap.
Yep.
So
Which I'm sure we'll see them at some point this season.
I'm hoping we see them in the championship. If not, like keep in mind we've got the multi-class mayhem going on. That's about to kick back off. We
Yep.
got the endurance series that goes on every once in a while. We got the AC Assetto Corsa series that's just starting up, so to speak. It's more of a casual event sort of thing, but racing with the community. There's lots going on, and not to mention those weekend sprints.
Yeah, the weekend sprints have been taken off. Martin Riggs handling that like a champ, been listening to the community and what they're looking for. I know he was trying to get some stuff set up as the first week was announced last night. So I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot of Barcelona practice for the exhibition races this week.
No doubt. There's going to be a ton of that, and I unfortunately don't have the graphic handy to throw up on screen, but I do have it in front of me here. Multi-class Mayhem season number 4, and we're changing things up this season. So we're going to be running 6 races with one drop race, and our odd number rounds are going to be super sprint weekends. Those are two 30-minute races in a row, no mandatory pit stop. The even number rounds are going to be a 90-minute race with one mandatory pit stop for 1 liter of fuel. That kind of changes things up. Those super sprint weekends, we're going to see Donington on February 17th, Zandvoort on March 3rd, and Laguna on March 17th. We're going to see Coda on February 24th, Misano on March 10th, and Barcelona on March 24th for those full length 90-minute races. And I don't know, taking a different approach to trying to balance out the need between GT4s that can probably do a full race without needing fuel in some scenarios, and
Hmm.
GT3s that almost definitely need a refuel.
Yeah.
I don't know. I last season I competed in a GT4 and I don't think I'm gonna do it again. It's kind of
Yeah,
scary.
GT4 is it's very I mean even being in a GT3, I can feel for the GT4s. Um It's especially at certain tracks where there's not a lot of overtaking spots. I know, like, when we did Indy last season, if you got stuck in that third sector behind a GT3 or GT4, you were stuck behind them for a while unless they kind of made a mistake. But I mean, there's parts like that at every track we'll see, especially this coming season with Donington, starting off at Donington. That one's going to be a toughie.
150%. And those who are taking on the GT4 role for the first time, as uh, as Kevin Hart once said, "You gonna learn today," because it's a very quick learning curve when that car's coming up at you, flying, and you
Yeah,
think they're gonna hit you, but nope, they go perfectly around you. Don't even skid the tires, go around the racing line. It's like, yeah, I'm just not there. It's a different
yeah,
experience being in the slower class.
yeah. You kind of just have to trust those that are coming up on you, which it's a lot of trust.
100%. It's yeah, like you said, it's trust. If you don't have trust in the guy coming up behind you, it's hard to stick to your racing line.
Yeah. Now, another thing that I have been seeing in the Discord lately is a lot of people are saying that they might think that the multi-class schedule, like the tracks that we're doing, are going to be relative to what we're doing in the GT3 Team Series.
Interesting.
There's a big theory that that's what could be going on, which I did say earlier, there's quite a bit of those.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's not outlandish.
No, it's not.
So looking at things, starting with the first week of the first race, that's an off week for SRA. So we are going to be
Hmm.
off for the week of Valentine's, so that one doesn't line up. But Coda for week 2, Coda is the second track. Line it up with that possible wet race idea.
Oh,
I'm going to be very confused and probably under a lot of pressure if I end up being correct on this, but
yeah, we might get canceled.
I promise I don't know shit.
Oh man. Yeah, but I mean, we got Misano in there, which I'm almost certain we'll have.
Yeah, like we were saying, the Misano Dry would be very good to have, and that lines
Yeah.
right up with week 4. I think the only one that doesn't actually no, all of these are contained within season 6, so I think the only one we can rule out is Barcelona.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
hey, a
so as
double
well.
header inside the same season could be an SRA first.
Well, that's if it's probably going to be two completely different track conditions. I'm sure we don't want two races like this. These conditions we're in now.
And maybe, who knows, maybe they turn it up higher.
Oh,
50 degrees, let's go.
oh boy. I'd pray
Barbecue.
for everybody.
Never mind shrimp on the Barbie. Put some Pirellis on the Barbie.
Oh boy. You're a
White
funny guy.
White Bison says to ask Prime about all of his tinfoil theories. And as I say that, he responds that he's triggered. So, tell me, tell us about your theories. What
Yeah, there's
there's been
quite
a
a bit from
few.
a lot of people.
There's been a few tinfoil hat theories going around in the Discord, and
See if we can look up any.
I'm happy that I can take mine off from the F1 season and say that I was correct about Ferrari intentionally pushing their engines to the brink of destruction so that they could upgrade their car. So whatever. I think that I genuinely think that 1 second ahead or 1 second faster thing might be true.
I
I mean,
think so.
think about how many engines they blew
Mathematically,
up this year.
quite a bit. Quite a bit. I think you hit that one on the head.
Too
Let's
many to
see.
type
Let's
out.
see.
Prime, come hop up in here. You want to come up in the booth? You want to come be part of the SRA grid report for a little bit less than a 1 hour session and for less than $599.95? Just put yourself in a voice channel. Maybe toss yourself in general, and I'll bring you down. Uh-oh, we might be getting some conglomerate bias here. I see
Uh-oh.
White Noise saying go rep the Madhouse gang.
Oh boy, that's gonna cost you $5.99 for us to shout out your conglomerate. So my Cash App is $Bailey Kish.
And I don't got one, so send my contribution to Bailey.
There we go.
And here we have in the booth with us Mr. Jeff Spangler, Prime himself. How's it going?
How's it going?
Not too bad. So we hear you have some tinfoil hat
Oh,
theories. What can you share with the
yeah.
lads?
Yeah, we I think I can speak for a lot of us when I say we had a lot of fun in the off season with our tinfoil discussion group. I think we had over like 2,000 comments or something,
Yeah,
which
it's
was
been
great. But
nuts.
yeah, I just got tired of scouring the site and the Discord for clues that obviously weren't there. I mean, you're never going to convince me otherwise. And I was like, you know what? I'll just crowdsource it. Surely, all of these people coming together will be able to figure out, what the clue is. And slowly but surely, things just kind of devolved into madness as they tend to do. I will share what I thought was my best guess, and I thought I had it, but it was just really Doug leading us on, of course, as we were
Always.
masterfully manipulated multiple times. He was putting in somebody talked about a yellow helmet, I think, and then somebody was like, "Oh, I think I said something like somebody said, oh, Senna wore a yellow helmet," and I was like, "Oh, didn't he die at Imola?" So I was like, "Oh, it's
Ooh.
Imola." And then Doug put in the yellow Ferrari helmet that they wore at Monza, and Lane Yates,
Oh yes,
king of the chief suspects,
Yeah.
the
put in
iconic
he
Lane Yates.
changed his profile pic to yellow helmet. So I was like, okay, Ferrari yellow helmets. Everybody loves making fun of them. Got to be Monza, and of course I got the famous copy pasta. Cannot confirm nor deny. But
Uh,
yeah, I mean it was crazy. It was all over the place. People were like, oh well, maybe Jeff knows what it is and he's just leading them on. And I thought like I was gonna have so much fun with everybody if my Monza guess is correct, because I was debating whether I was just gonna close the thing, just close the whole thing down, and not close the whole thread and not say anything.
Leave everybody at suspense.
yeah. Just
Yes,
shuts the
but
thread down. It's like, is it right? Is it wrong? Is it too
right.
close?
But
But
no, I didn't guess, and I'm just glad I didn't guess Barcelona for the wrong reasons. So had a lot of fun with it.
yeah, it's been a lot of fun trying to guess at these tracks. Now, I was gonna say those two that you brought up, Monza and Imola, we haven't really raced there recently. What do you think? What do you think
Yeah,
about them showing up on the calendar this season?
I I love Imola. It's one of my favorite tracks. Um, I hope Imola shows up. I don't think I've raced in a league that's had Imola in a while, so that would be good. Monza, the infamous T1. People say Monza's boring, but I personally, it's still challenging. Like it demands a lot of you, a lot of precision. Otherwise, your lap time just goes down the toilet. So I know there's a lot of Monza haters out there. I'm not a Monza lover by any stretch of the imagination, but two good tracks I'd love to see on this season.
I couldn't agree more.
No doubt. And yeah, I think it's been two, maybe 3 seasons since we've been at Imola, and I think the last time we were there was dark. So I don't know. I would be a big fan of seeing it come back. Austin saying Monza equals go fast Burr. How do you feel about that, Jeff?
I mean, yeah, go fast until you have to slam on the anchors and make it through a couple challenging chicanes. That's not even to mention if you have other cars bearing down on you or you're trying not to rear end them into said chicanes. So I'd say that's a little bit of an oversimplification, in my opinion.
No doubt. No, just kind of, I guess you could say, asking above my pay grade. You're a talented driver yourself, and like you said, Monza is sometimes regarded as a simple track, but it's not. Which corner do you find harder when you have somebody that you're either trying to defend from or overtake? Turn one or turn three?
I'd have to go with turn 3. That's the second one. Just because this almost seems like the breaking point can move around.
I
And add
was
to
just
that,
about to say that.
yeah, it's weird. It's sometimes it feels like you're breaking in the right place, and that's true. I think for the first one as well. And then you're too late. And then if you mess up that one, you've got those awful curbs. First of all, the curbs on the turns themselves, and then those stupid curbs across the runoff area. Whereas T1, you just bail out into those nice soft foam boards,
Yeah.
you can drive through. So yeah, the second one definitely tougher for me.
Now, there's been a lot of talk of what the rain tracks are going to be this season. Excuse me. The popular one is Wet Coda. How do you feel about that one?
I mean, Coda's already drive-through city,
Yeah.
so make it wet. I think across the game they fixed track limit warnings with speed, because I remember at Spa a while ago you could basically like kind of cut up the Radeon,
Hmm.
and you were going so slow in the wet that it wouldn't, it might give you a no time gain, but it wouldn't give you a warning. So those S's there in the wet, people slipping and sliding everywhere. Personally, I don't think that would be a great time. That track is already hard enough. It doesn't need to
Yeah.
be made harder. I'm sure their admins are sitting here taking notes, being like, okay, yep, let's make them suffer.
Oh
So
yeah, they're definitely lurching
I'm
off
dooming
the.
us all, I'm sure, but you know,
Oh yeah, if there's
Yeah,
one
we'll
thing the
see.
hopefully
admins
not
love,
Coda.
it's torturing us. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, we gave them way too many ideas in this the tinfoil chat. So
Yeah.
No
sorry in
doubt.
advance.
Yeah, they've got season 15 planned out now.
All thanks to tinfoils.
Yeah, no doubt. But anything specific you're looking forward to this season?
Um, the level of competition was great. I think it's going to get even better. Um, I don't, I had a couple chances where I feel like I could have won a race last season and left a little bit on the table. Um, Snetterton got pole, and Ryan was just like, all right, we're just going to go. I'm not going to try anything crazy. And unfortunately, I made a mistake. He slipped through. And then he was later like, oh, I probably should have team orders that, just let you win. And I was like, no, man, no, like if I'm going to win a race, like, especially my first one here, I definitely don't want it to be that way. And of course, false start or whatever it is,
Yeah.
the guy around me still haunts me.
Yeah, that was a
So,
rough one. I watched that one back. That was a rough one. Painful one too.
yeah.
No
So
doubt.
yeah, I don't really see. I think my goals have kind of shifted this season. I think like top fives would be good. A couple new drivers there that are definitely going to be in the SRA Lean category.
Oh yeah.
Um, so yeah, no, I think we're both hopeful we can score good points and hopefully come away with another team championship, if nothing else.
Now
For
saying
sure.
that, does that mean you're teaming up with Mr. Yi again?
Yes, we are back, and unless something crazy changes, we're in the Honda again. So
Fair enough. Now, I'll give you your opportunity. They're saying in the chat about represent Madhouse Gang. So, you want to rep your brand? You got any open spots in your
yeah,
in your
absolutely.
conglomerate?
Well, so we've capped out. We had a lot of interest. Very happy with that for getting it off the ground. I think we got a good group across a lot of divisions. Got some Division 1, 2. I think we have everything except for Division 6. But I believe we're gonna have 12 or 13 teams, which is just crazy.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, we're very excited. And Coach Jeffries, if you're out there, we're coming for that illustrious Coach Jeffries Conglomerate Cup. We're excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a very intense battle with a lot of conglomerates.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's going to be a lot better than last season when the Badmans had 99% of the league
Yeah.
inability to compete with everybody. What was it after the first race? They had like 6,600 points.
They
It's
were already ahead by
done
2,000 or something.
right off the
Yeah.
championship round one.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Well, hey, you guys are
Badminton's
gonna have to
similar.
do a 30 for 30 special on the demise of the Badmans, because I know everybody wants to know. What happened? It's a true story.
We
Maybe
definitely
we'll
could
never
do
know.
something like that. And I will say, for a little bit now, we've been thinking about having Doug on as guest, and I think that would be the perfect thing to go over when we have him
Yeah.
on the show,
Yeah.
because
Yep.
that is his bread and butter.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that are happy to see Badmans die officially. So,
All right, hold
not
on.
me.
I see some hate in the chat. I see Ghost Rider Racing is better than anything else, and that's just propaganda. I don't know.
Oh
What do
boy.
you feel about that, Jeff?
I didn't really pay a ton of attention to the conglomerates or size last season, but I feel like Ghost Rider's gotten a lot bigger. I know I popped in, I think, to their conglomerate chat and put in a little like refugee lifeboat. So I guess maybe the Badman refugees or have landed those shores.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But if you don't have confidence in yourself and in your group, what are you doing? So, little smack talk is always good.
Exactly. It's always healthy.
Yeah. Jeff, I wasn't gonna say it, but I'll say it. Ghost Rider Racing is the team I started, so
All right. Well, there you
yep.
go.
There you go. That's why there's so many of those in the chat right now. You'll see a
I
lot of them
see. Okay.
on. Yep. So
All
yeah, there's a
right.
lot of us out there. So we're looking to see what Madhouse can do. We are in all the divisions. So
Awesome. Can't wait.
Well, I see 6 Ghost Rider Racing teams and 2 Madhouse teams in Division 2. We're gonna sweep y'all. Uh,
All right.
we as in Comic Racing shall also see you on the grid.
Sounds good.
yep.
It'll be great fun, and I know myself, Jeff. I look forward to seeing your races this season.
Appreciate it.
I can see you getting up there, maybe sneaking a couple wins out.
That would be a dream. All right, guys. Well, thanks for having me.
No
Hey,
worries,
thanks for
man.
coming.
Thanks for coming
Catch you
on
Thanks
in.
for
later.
hanging out.
See you later.
See ya.
No, that's interesting. He brought up those 2 cracks that he had for predictions, and immediately I'm like, we haven't raced there in quite a while, and yet I haven't thought of those as tracks to be on the season. I'm thinking small British tracks. I'm thinking the American tracks because they haven't gotten, I think, enough love since they've come into from the DLC.
Yeah. Yeah. Imla's such a good track. Um, it takes a lot of technical skill, I feel. With the incline in some corners, a lot of trail braking on that track. A lot of people kind of struggle with trail braking. Even some cars struggle with trail braking. So it's very technical, and those who are the technical drivers, you'll see them succeed at Imola, and I'm hoping that we do see Imola so that those who struggle with the technicality part can see themselves improve and shoot. You see some of these guys get the technicality of the game down. We're gonna be seeing Division 1.1, 1.2.
Yeah, it's again I use it a lot, but it's scary
Yeah,
to see like one driver will pick up something from either a coaching session or a one-on-one with somebody in their conglomerate, and all of a sudden their pace just is this, and then their buddy does this too, and then the rest of the team does this, and like you said, we get Division 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, but
yep,
it's gonna be an absolute fight this season because I don't think those in division splits were that tight coming into season 5. I think they were all
yeah,
closer to 1 second.
yeah. Just looking at chat here, Steven Sarver, saying, "What if we just struggle?" Steven, I've seen what you're capable of, and I know you can do this.
Yes, Steven is come on man, show yourself some love.
You got this. I have total faith in you.
Gonna give a shout out to somebody who I seen has joined the chat. Your teammate,
My teammate, yes.
shown some great racing across the season this year, Taylor Molina.
Yep.
I didn't do much around him. I remember previous seasons racing around him more often, but it was nice. He's a menace in my mirrors. I'll say that.
He likes to call himself the Thomas. No, what was it? I forgot what he called himself. Taylor, what'd you call yourself? Something defense. Something defense. I can't remember what it was. The conductor, that's what it was. Called himself the conductor because he held up trains of 12 to 14 cars at one point. And I know it helped me quite a bit because I was able to weave my way through them, not being able to qualify. So his fat self kind of did us both a favor.
That's what you need from a teammate sometimes. What a awesome
Yes.
nickname, the conductor.
Yeah, that
I
was a
love it.
self-given nickname.
That's awesome.
Yes. So we're back, and we're not in the Audi this season, unfortunately, for now. But yeah, we'll be in the Porsche, so we'll see how it goes.
Cyberstatic says me at Kailami in D4. I held up about half the grid.
It's always fun.
Yeah,
It's always fun because you're always allowing battles, and for us commentators, it's so fun to watch and commentate on.
no doubt. It's like are are they just going slower, like, and someone else
Yeah.
can't find a pace, or is it just like strong defensive tactics and
Yes.
nobody has a room?
Yeah, and there was a couple of people. Dan Cran was one of them. Landshark, I see you. You were one of them. You a couple times actually. Where Taylor and I would qualify. I know, Josh, you and I qualified next to each other almost every freaking race.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so Taylor and I were doing a lot of team work on the track, and some people noticed it. Landshark was one of them. Dan Cran, I do remember you. There was a couple of other people. Eric Boardman was one of them. So yeah, we don't mess around.
no, and that's part of what you form your team for, right? You help work each other through that grid because at the end of the day, it is that team championship.
Yeah, and with the amount of speed that has come out of nowhere, out of the woodwork, that's kind of what we're fighting for here in D2 is the team championship. We almost had it last season, but Laguna Seca got the better of us.
Yeah, I remember you guys being right up at the top of that fight, and then wasn't you both had a unfortunate race that one, right?
Yeah, Laguna Seca was our demise. We actually led for the first 5 weeks.
It's it's impressive to do that. I mean, there was only
It's
one other
it's tough,
division
dude.
that had a solid team leader. I think that was it Division 4? Wasn't it Jared Seckham and Max Diggs? They were like
Uh,
500 points
D3.
ahead. D3.
Yeah, they were up by 400 points going into like week 5 or something.
And that's just an app that done. Like
Unreal.
that's a team right there.
Yeah, that's unreal. Now they're both in D2.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, stay away
Definitely
from me.
deserving of that promotion. And I'm gonna be
Yeah,
scared when I see two BMWs coming up to me.
I think they're actually I don't even think they're teammates anymore.
They're not teammates anymore. Oh,
I might be wrong. Let me check because I know Secom joined Ghost Rider Racing, so he is with us. I can't remember if um Max Diggs joined. It'll take me a sec. Maybe Taylor knows off the top of his head. Madhouse, that's right. Diggs went to Madhouse.
oof.
Yeah, so
They're
they
not
they split.
teammates.
Didn't did not want to try and run their luck in Division 2 together, I guess.
Oh, did I freeze the stream or is that just my side that's frozen?
I think it's just you,
Okay.
maybe.
You got it up. Is it running?
Still going for me.
Sweet. All right, we're good.
Still going.
But yeah, there's
Steven Sarver in chat saying they broke up like a bad date. It's no breakup like the Doug and Tyler breakup. Oh, now it's frozen for me.
oh, it's
Oh,
broken
now
for
it's
you
back.
now.
Okay, we're good.
No, it's
We're
back.
good.
Okay.
We're good. We're good. We're good. Yeah.
Prime. Until seeing the recap, I legit didn't realize we were getting a stable of beasts. Yeah, there's so much going on around the Discord. It's just like this person joins here, this person joins here, that. It's all gonna be
Yep.
really Saturday, where we all find out who's where, what's really going down, and how this conglomerate championship's gonna look, or conglomerate cup, whatever you'd like to call it.
Yeah, and if some of you don't know what the Conglomerate Cup is, Coach Jeffrey's Academy. Check him out. CoachJeffreysAcademy.com, I believe it is. That is where it is kept track of. Josh, you are a part of that new conglomerate.
I am, and honored to wave the banner. It's a very community friendly team, and when Mr. Jeffries offered me the grilling lessons as part of the team, I couldn't say no.
Yeah, his website's very, very entertaining to say the least.
Yeah, the yeah, I don't know. I have no words for that. Entertaining is about all I got.
But he just hosted a SRA draft.
That is right. We've got a little fantasy going on, and I'm not sure off the top of my head how many teams there are. 10?
I think there's 12.
12.
Yeah.
But they all pick drivers from around the league. Shout out Koa Dromo for picking the two solid D2 drivers, and myself and at least I think that was the actual draft board, unless it was someone's provisioned draft board. But I saw Koa had taken myself and Doug, so shout out. I'm gonna disappoint. Nah,
That's okay. That's what everybody said who was a part of the draft last night who got picked. So,
yeah, it's gonna be super cool to see at the end of the day, like that bit of false pressure on you, but realistically, it's just you know having another set of eyes on the season.
yes. Um, Now, I don't know, were you able to tune in and watch?
I was not able to because I had fallen asleep after getting home from school, and
Oh,
yeah, woke up just as it finished.
did you see who the first pick was?
I did not. Oh wait, yes I did. Wasn't it Kevin?
It was Kevin Kovacs.
Yeah,
Yeah, passed up. Ryan E got passed up.
that was very surprising.
Yes.
Now,
So I think Doug knows something. Kevin Kovacs stood out there towards the end of the season. Could be the track car combo. Could be that Kevin Kovacs got the car underneath him finally. Maybe Doug knows something.
yeah, I mean there are two new drivers to the league that I don't recognize that are showing some stupendous pace. And if this is off of your finishing position, gets you, sorry, like you're looking for drivers who are going to take wins, people who are going to take podiums. Maybe they think that Kevin has a better chance of getting wins than Ryan does in his division. But now that I
Yeah.
think about it, like, did Kevin get moved up to D1 or is he still in D2?
No, I believe Kevin Kovacs is still D2.
Oh, then yeah, he is. That could be a big pick right there.
Yeah. The are you talking about the two aliens that joined?
Yes.
Yeah, the those two are the Armamentario devs that we have in our SRA.
Oh,
Yes.
that's why I don't
Um,
recognize them.
yeah, they are registered to race, but the issue is the time of the race start would be about 5 a.m. for them.
I mean, a little pre-work race, you know,
Yeah,
no big deal. A little workout.
maybe, maybe wake up,
I,
grind
for,
out a win or two.
I forget who said it, but someone that was in that uh, practice voice channel last night had said that, it is a bit of a stretch for them and times are off, but if they're going to go through the process of registering for a championship, they're going to race. And that was someone
At
who's
some
part of the
point.
Monterio thing. So I could see them showing up for a majority of races, at least four,
Yeah,
which is going to be a big threat in D1.
especially when they got a track that's like liquid gold to them.
Yes. Yes.
So it's going to be interesting. Ryan E is going to have a handful with those guys. Not even just Ryan E. We might even see Matt Lehman return. Brooker Queeg's always there. And I mean, we got a couple of the other aliens there.
And
Spangler.
and like you were saying, do we see the resurgence of Diego?
Exactly. Diego is now out of the Audi. I believe he went back to the Honda.
Oh, if he did, then he might be in good standing. He seemed
Yeah.
very comfortable in that car.
Yeah, I believe Diego's gone back to the Honda, so I am gonna put money on that we see Diego Fimbres Casas go for some sort of victory at every race this season.
I definitely could see that. And even just looking over the classifications, like in D1 Gold alone, you got Dominic Duran, you got Danny Durance in there too, Jeff
Hmm.
Spangler, you got
Yep,
Michael Menning, Mr. Sir, Nate Spetch, who he doesn't get a lot of talk about him, but he's been climbing up the pace rankings pretty hard lately as well.
for sure. Yeah, he was not he was D2 not too long ago. I can't remember when it was, but he now sees him in the top, what, 25 of SRA?
He's right up there. I think he has
Yeah.
top 5 SR rating.
Wow. Yeah, Nate Specht has been finding some more and more talent, which is unreal.
Yeah, it's it's always wonderful to see the guys you think that are insane just get even more insane, and it's like how. Meanwhile, I'm trying to find 2/10 to be competitive in my division. I'm still
Yeah.
almost 2 seconds off of you. Like
Yeah, they just get it.
I'm still trying to process how someone set a 139 stint at Kailami.
And
Like
said, "Oh yeah, I have more in me."
like how? I don't even think I
Yeah.
could touch a 139 in a single lap, no matter how much I tried.
Yeah, no, I did a 41.6 and I said, "Oh, I feel pretty good." And then I went and looked and I'm like, "Huh?
Yeah, literally,
What?"
literally. Man, when I first put my stint up, I think it was a 41.6, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay. And that was just around race time. I had a bad lap in the stint, and during the race, I got close to 40. So I'm like, okay, I got some pace in the bag, but that's representative. And when I put
Hmm.
it in, it was somewhere like, I want to say top 10 in the D2 ranking. And then not even 2 days later, I was like 140th on the leaderboard. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Went and improved by
Yeah.
3/10 and it barely moved.
Some people I was noticing were on every day, almost as if they were practicing for a race, just so they could get this down. So
Yeah,
kind of scary.
no doubt. And that's one thing I did see get talked about in some of the other chats is, like how much should you put towards your hot stint? How much should you be trying to just get it faster, faster, faster? And like
Yeah.
my opinion towards it is treat it like a race week, you know? You go and you work on your hot laps, then you go and you
Hmm.
work on your full stint pace, and then maybe you work back to hot lap, and then it's like, okay, let's just work on that 5 stint a couple times. If
Yeah.
realistically you don't feel that you could put more than, I would say, I don't know, let's say 10 hours a week into practicing for a race week every single week, then in my opinion, you shouldn't put that much into your stint because you may qualify yourself somewhere you may not be competitive. Like if you get all this free
Yeah.
time in 3 weeks and you can push your stint to the top of D1, you get qualified there. But realistically, on a week to week basis, you can only get yourself to a D2 pace. You're shooting
Hmm.
yourself in the foot.
Yep. And that's what I've been kind of saying to a lot of people that have been putting in this much time to improve their time. Like you just said, you don't have the 3 to 4 weeks that you had for this hot stint. You're gonna have at most a week. Here we're gonna have the Valentine's week off, so whatever track two is, you're gonna have 2 weeks there. But the rest of the season, you're gonna have 1 week, so you're not gonna be able to have all that time you had in this 3 to 4 weeks to get that D1 stint time to then go into week four and you're running D4 pace or
Exactly.
D3 4 pace, something like that. So it's it's almost a plus minus situation. Yes, it feels good to get up there in the D1 times, but in 4 weeks you may not be at that pace.
Exactly. You kind of gotta you kind of you gotta pace yourself where you think you can actually be competitive. Like sure, it's
Hmm.
Kailami, but let's say you go set your Kailami stint in 3 or 4 tries, and that places you in D4. Well, okay, go to one of the other tracks that we have a hot stint leaderboard for. Go set a couple stints there. If you
Hmm.
also sit D4, like so even if you go somewhere where you're really comfortable, go there. If you're still D4, well, I mean, I guess that's just where you fit. If you go
Yep.
there and you're D2, well, maybe you just need some work on the other track. Go put some more laps
Hmm.
in. But shouldn't be trying to outperform yourself just for the sake of a higher division, because as someone who got pushed into D1 when I won my D2 championship, but genuinely was not fast enough for D1. Like, I did not have the over 1 lap pace. It is not fun being that far back on the grid.
No, it's not. It's like the point leading up to getting into, say, you're in Division 4, you're getting into Division 3 or 2, or Division 2 getting into Division 1. Um, the skill gap, not even the skill gap, we'll say, the time difference is insane. From leading, say you're in Division 3 or Division 4, say you're leading in your division, you get jumped up to the next division. Those guys in the front are second, if not more, quicker than you at that point of the season, at the end of the season, going into the new season, and it's mentally tough. But the thing that I have seen people struggle with is um, already committing to the loss. They're already putting their heads down. They're like, all right, looking to next season, to whereas you could just put in the time to practice. Um, Whether you're learning a new car, new track, put in the time, figure out the quirks, figure out what you're good at, what needs to improve. So before you go and give up because you got put in a division, or you felt like you were put in the right division, and then all of a sudden that division is a second quicker than you. It's not over. Just don't give up.
Exactly. Just fight your way back up and hey, I mean, if you're genuinely that out of position, prove the admin's wrong. Go get yourself a couple wins in the first few races. We do that reshuffle after I think it's
Hmm.
week 2 is when we stop, so probably after the week after Valentine's Day is
Yep,
when we'll solidify where the movements are, finalize gold and silver, stuff like that. But like I said, go out there, prove them wrong, get yourself moved back up to where you need to be, and the sooner you do it, the less points you lose. So,
for sure.
because unfortunately, under no control of ours, you lose points when you move divisions. Our tracker just doesn't keep track of that.
Yeah. Well, then say you have say you won the first 2 races in your previous division, then you get moved up to the next division, and you're automatically on the same amount of points, although you didn't prove yourself with those points in that division.
Exactly.
Could be a
Exactly.
kind of an unfair advantage at that point. Excuse me.
No worries.
Um, One question I was going to ask you
Yep.
was, so we talked about having the 3 to 4 weeks to practice the Kyalami hot stint. We had the last race of last season to practice Kyalami. So we had a month at least of practicing Kyalami. For the hot stint, did you practice through the entire 3 4 weeks, or did you just do a couple here and there?
So, race happened on Wednesday. We recorded the podcast on, I think, Thursday or Friday.
Hmm.
That weekend, I put in my 146 or one whatever the heck I had, 141.6.
Yep.
Didn't race it again until I realized how far I was a couple days ago. Improved it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Didn't really put any effort into it. At the end of the day, like, I just kind of hopped in the game, kept driving the cars on whatever track I could get into that was populated, just kept my muscle memory up and hop into a track. What pace do I have? Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I have. I'm at the point now, like, I'm almost at like 1,200 hours now. Like,
Whew.
I kind of know where my pace is. So, like, if I
Hmm.
hop into Kailami and I'm doing 47s, yeah, maybe I'm going to spend some time there. But
Yeah.
if I hop in and I'm right at my time, well, there's no point in just getting angry at the game because I can't go faster. That's just
Hmm.
what I got.
Yeah. Well, and it also helps with you being here since the start of SRA that they already know where your pace lies too.
Yeah, it's, I mean, compared to the 32 drivers that we had in season 0, like, I guess you could relate to my pace, but at that time I was also driving faster than I think Evan and Doug. So, only now Doug coming down to D2, I mean, it's still only relative for back then. Like,
Yeah.
just the rate of
Well,
improvement of some drivers.
yeah. And Doug now has officially turned off the racing line.
Yeah, that's a development this
So,
season for himself and
yeah.
for Tyler.
And Tyler's involved in it too?
Yeah, I believe Tyler
Oh,
has also
wow.
switched off the racing line. And,
Oh, boy.
you know, like, they've defended their point in the voice channels, and I kind of agree with them. Like, when we're not actual racing drivers, so take advantage of the fact that this is a video game and get those free braking reference points when you're in the middle of a traffic fight.
Yeah,
But to take the step after all that time of muscle memory and having that there for you to then try and instill a competitive setting, switch to no racing line, it's going to be interesting to see what they can make out of this season.
for sure.
I've heard them
Uh,
complaining a lot.
yes, Doug has spoken his true feelings. I know he's been putting in a lot of practice trying to learn just Kyalami. Um,
Yeah, and that's not even on the season.
no, it's not.
No,
Not that we know, but
I don't think it would. Back-to-back
no,
seasons on the track, I don't think.
I don't think so either. And we just had a wet Kyalami a few seasons ago as well, so
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think so as well. But yeah, just putting in that much time to learn one track. But I feel like once they get the hang of how the car brakes at a certain point, they kind of know. You know the feeling where you need to brake, how you need to brake.
yeah.
So I have full faith.
Like you said, just a different feeling. Like you're looking in a different place of the track. You're not looking at that little bit of the ground where you see the red bars or whatever. You're
Hmm.
looking. You're actually trying to look at your apex, or you're actually trying to look at the cars. So as much as it's tough off the start to relearn those braking points and those turn-in points, by the time they get comfortable, they're going to see the true benefit of it. They'll probably feel that they're more aware of what's going on around them
Yeah.
because you're actually looking out at the track and not looking down at the road.
Yep. Then there's a lot of people that say that you go faster without the racing line. So, I mean, we could see this bottoming out of them at their lowest point, but say in 6, 7 weeks, they could be a second quicker than they ever could have been.
Yeah, I think this'll. I genuinely think this'll do a lot for their racing because considering they both went back to back on, or well, Doug went back to back on championships, they went back to back on team championships. Like they're both capable drivers,
Hmm.
and this will, I think, only increase their skill. So I could see a season 7 threat from one of them, if not maybe Doug fighting in the back half of season 6 here for this D2 championship. I don't mean to discredit the guy, but like there's been some exhibition races where I've seen some Division 2 drivers showing more skill or more pace directly than Doug. So I think he may have a fight on his hands in D2. But by the back
Yeah,
half, yeah, could see him fighting for a win.
yeah, it's gonna click like immediately for him, and he's gonna be a menace. Is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Sorry, just reading the chat. See you later, Steven.
Oh, you're good.
Have a good night, boss.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you for coming out and joining the fun. It's already been an hour and a half.
Wow, time flies, dude. Every week.
Yeah, and it does not feel like the time that it does. I remember
No.
Dom saying that when we finished the end of our show. He's like,
Yeah.
"How long was that? 40 minutes?" And we're like, "An hour and 40 minutes." He's like, "What?"
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad it's not just us.
Yeah, it's it's good fun. And I mean, we had the option out tonight for whoever wanted to come up. We had Jeff come up in the booth. That was really nice that we at least got somebody.
Yep.
Um, but to anybody, like, you want to come up and share about how your division's been in this season, like in our in-season shows, or you want to come talk about, I don't know, you won the championship, or you won 2, 3 straight races, or you're part of the commentator team, or you're part of the uh the graphic design team. Like everybody wants to hear about everybody around here. Like there's
Hmm.
only so much you can read in the Discord. So
Yeah, there's a lot of different aspects of SRA.
yeah, no doubt. And I for one want to hear about all of them. So if you've got something to share, I mean, like it doesn't feel like you're sitting up here for an hour to an hour 20 when we actually do the
Mm-mm.
shows. So
Yeah.
shake off those jitter legs. We've got that Google form which I'll repost in the Discord tonight. Uh, just a little bit of a hey, this is who I am or am not interested in being a guest on the show, and we'll try and reach out. We'd love to have more guests this season. I already misspoke on the announcement and said we had two, but we only
Oh.
had one.
He
Uh,
outed himself.
but hey, first step is acceptance.
Yep.
But
I guess I would have never said it, but you're a bigger man than I am.
oh, I can already see that we have your teammates has signed me up. So
Yeah, I bet he does.
I guess I'm sure we'll see him at some point this season up here.
Potentially, more than likely.
Kelvin, thanks for checking out the show, man. See you on track. He's taking off as well, and I don't know about you, but I'm kind of running out of material here.
Yeah, I think we're good. Setting everybody up for the season 6 banger coming up.
No doubt. Saturday is going to be a show, let alone next week with the season getting started off. We've got the live stream starting. I think it's 9 o'clock as usual, if not eight
Hmm.
o'clock. On the, I actually don't know if we're doing it on the YouTube or the Twitch.
It's probably gonna be the Twitch again,
I would
would be
assume
my
so,
guess.
but have your eyes on both. We're gonna have the full track reveal. We're gonna have all the livery reveals. We're gonna have all these brand new shoeies from this season. And to think, we got 11 shoeies. We have 11 shoeies this season.
That's crazy.
So, big,
Saturday night starts at 8 p.m. EST.
there it is, 8 p.m. EST. So, mark your calendars, mark your discords, tell your significant others you are occupado, and get ready for that stream because I'm excited for the rest of the season to be revealed.
I'm too, and make sure everybody who has done their liveries, make sure you get them submitted to the admin team by tomorrow at I think it's 11:59 p.m. So make sure you get those in. We want to see what everybody's rocking this season. Livery streams, a lot of fun. We get to see liveries, shoeies. We get to see the track reveal. So make sure you get everything in so we can all be a part of it.
That is right. And just keep in mind for the whole allure of hiding your livery, please don't upload them to the awesome sim racing collection yet. Because once you do that,
Hmm.
it will show it to everybody else. Just
Yep.
send them in through I believe it's the admin ticket tool or the admin help tool. I don't think there's a livery submission tool.
No, I think you're right. It's just the admin help.
But yeah, just send them in through there. They'll collect them for the show, and then after the live stream on Saturday night, flood that awesome sim racing, and us broadcasters will get them ready to go for that first stream.
For sure.
Because we want to see all those lovely cars that I know Bailey, for example. I should use this hand because he's over here. Bailey, for
Mm.
example, has put
Yeah,
a ton of time into
a
his
lot,
team's liveries. I believe you handled
a
all
lot.
of them, correct?
Like 70% of them.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a lot of work. I had a hard enough time doing
Yes.
just one.
Yeah, I did I've done a total of 27, 28, something
Wow.
like that. Yeah.
Wow. I was impressed that
Yeah.
the other season I did like three. I was like, damn, this is good. This is
Yep.
because like I did 27 in 2 days.
Yep. Yeah, that's all I've
Okay.
done. I haven't even touched Barcelona yet.
Oh my God. Oh,
Yeah,
for your own sake, I hope you get out there because that direct temperature is deadly.
me too. I hope I don't go into that blind, which I'm sure I won't. I should be done by this weekend, so
Yeah,
yeah,
more than likely. And if not, you take your break and you do some practice while the live stream goes on. You
for
listen
sure.
to what other bullshit you got to deal with for the rest of the season.
What other garbage I gotta practice for?
uh, I can't even think of a worse combo than wet Coda right now. Like,
I'm kind of for it, but we'll
I
see.
I mean,
We'll
I'm
see.
always down for the challenge, but also like that's gonna hurt a lot.
I mean, it sure didn't sound like Jeff was for it either.
No, that's for sure. I can agree there. He didn't seem too interested. But from our team to yours, I want to say thank you for season 1 of the podcast. It was really awesome, and I want to say a tremendous surprise when the following morning after we posted that first episode, and we had like 130 views.
Yeah.
Considering we posted it at like 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday,
Yep.
like that's awesome. So thank you to
Yeah.
everybody who supports the show, comes out, watches. I mean, whether you're here tonight or you watch it as soon as it comes out a week later, whatever, um, without you guys, there's no point in us doing a show. So you guys are the reason we do this, and yeah, we thank you a lot. Look
Yep.
forward to everything that we can bring you for season 2 here.
Yeah, just thanks for the feedback, thanks for the support, thanks for the uh letting us know that you're enjoying the show. I mean, that means a lot to us. Any of the messages you guys get, we do see, so thank you ever so much.
Awesome. And with that, it's been Josh, it's been Bailey, and we will see you next week after race number 1.